Welcome to this audio from davidboulay.com. With this self-hypnosis, we'll boost the qualities that allow you to experience a greater self-trust, to improve the compassion, the acceptance, and the peace you can feel towards yourself. To begin, just pay attention inside, and just start by giving yourself permission to relax. But really feel into what that means and how that works. When you take a few moments to relax, what needs to happen inside for you to relax? And notice where you're coming from with it. Whether you're trying to make it happen, or whether it's that simple release. Because that's what relaxation really is, it's that letting go. Some parts of you were entertaining tension, and you bring awareness there and you simply release. It's the opposite of making an effort. And so that can be counterintuitive sometimes. It's that forcing it versus surrendering. And that goes on a physical level, but on an emotional level, on a mental level, and so on. And so in this moment, do a scan inside and try to gauge how tense you are from 0 to 100, where 0 is perfectly at peace, perfectly relaxed. 100 is very tense and stressed and fraught. And just notice whatever lets you know that you're around that number. Just to bring more awareness there and feel more into that effortless releasing. And then just wonder, could I relax just 5% more? And if so, what would that feel like? What would that be like? And from there, could I relax just 5% more again? Or you can just wonder to yourself, what would it be like to feel twice as relaxed as I do? Just wondering what would be different then. Just to kind of orient yourself towards that. To notice where you can further release. Allow that flow. And then with every exhalation, with every breath out, you can further release and relax, whether you do that consciously or whether that deep inner part of you just takes care of it naturally, automatically, effortlessly. And feel into how, in the same way as you can relax on a physical level, you can relax on a mental level. And it's different, but it's similar. And so just wonder, what would that be like if I were to feel twice as relaxed, just mentally? And just wonder how that would be. And in wondering how that would be, you can notice where you can further release and relax and let go. And so to relax mentally, you can start to count backwards silently in your mind, in whatever language comes most naturally, slowly going back from 300. And as you count backwards, keep feeling into that effortless release. Feel into how you can create a sense of spaciousness between every number. And as you count back, just let those numbers go slower and slower, so that you take a bit more time between the numbers to effortlessly release. And imagine that as you slow down those numbers, it's as if you entrain your mind into that deepening, that slowing down. And like anything that's practiced, the more often you do this, the more you can get a felt sense for it. You can feel that slowing down, that unwinding, that effortless releasing. How comfortable that is. And so at some point, you can just relax your mind so much that you just let go of the numbers, since you can just relax them away. So that when your mind at some point gets distracted and forgets to count, that's fine. You can just start again more or less where you were. And you can notice that you don't exactly notice when your mind starts to drift and wander. Usually just when you notice that it has. But every time it does, you can drift deeper, relax even further, effortlessly unwinding, releasing. And you can just imagine yourself in the most relaxing place ever. Imagine yourself somewhere where there'd be nothing else to do, where you could feel most at ease. And whenever you imagine yourself in that most relaxing, most peaceful place, you can just add in some details. Maybe some colors and some shading, or some sounds, sensations. Just to notice whatever would be most enjoyable about this place. And as you do so, that inner part of your mind can allow you to continue to drift further inward into a very comfortable state of trance. Knowing that trance is something that your mind does regularly, often without you even having to notice. But that every time you take the time to go into trance and use self-hypnosis, you can do so more and more deeply. Because you can feel how it's the easiest thing. It's the opposite of making an effort. So it's the most natural thing. And sometimes you're aware when you go into trance, but sometimes trance is just a shift in your awareness that happens automatically without you even having to notice. And every time that you use self-hypnosis, you can get more and more of a feeling for how you can define your own inner experience, how you create your own personal beliefs from the inside, so you can feel more and more free, more and more at peace. You can create more and more clarity, flow, when you recognize how you can trust yourself so deeply, naturally. And so, it doesn't matter whether your conscious mind at times wanders and drifts, or if it focuses in, concentrates. Either way, that deep inner part of your mind will just hear what it needs to hear and can integrate and remember. So you can continue to effortlessly release. And at any point, if you notice any tension whatsoever, that's fine, as that inner part of your mind can just let it relax as soon as it knows that it's all right to do so now. And if at any point you should need to emerge from trance, you can do so feeling refreshed and at ease. And insofar as you choose to, and you can recognize that it's safe, then you can give yourself permission to unwind and release and just let go. And you can always find this perfect balance where you can feel that quality of presence. You can feel in control. You can feel secure and at ease. And you can discover how that effortless release can serve you, allow you to feel even more empowered. So that where before there was resistance, now you can feel a greater sense of self-mastery. You can discover that when you do trust yourself so deeply, you can navigate those levels inside with more and more confidence. Thereby you can recognize that you feel more at peace. And that's a virtuous cycle where you can feel better and better. So again, you can just imagine the sensation of slowing down. Imagine that you entrain your mind into that slowing down. And you can imagine the sensation of deepening. So you can imagine yourself comfortably making your way down a stairway or an escalator, or any other sensation of drifting deeper. And the deeper you go, the further you can release. And the further you release, the deeper you can go. And for now, if there were any numbers left, you can just let them go. And I'll count backwards from 5 to 1. And as I do, that inner part of your mind can allow you to effortlessly drift deeper into trance, into a deep altered state from where you can redefine your inner experience in the ways that best serve you, so that you can feel more and more of the good feelings that allow you to move forward from a place of deep self-trust. 5, without having to make any effort at all, simply releasing. And the further you release, the deeper you can go. And the deeper you go, the further you can release. if you notice any tensions on any level, you can see them as an invitation to further unwind, release.
Let go and unwind.
And 4. Just imagining that slowing down and deepening, drifting effortlessly.
You go into trance more deeply.
Oh, that's good.
A comforting feeling can come to you.
And 3. Without having to make any effort at all. 2. Drifting, deepening.
The better you feel, the deeper.
And 1. In that inner part of your mind, you can just wonder what it could feel like, what it's like in your inner experience. Once it's the case that you trust yourself so deeply, that you feel confident, capable, that you have that deep sense of self-acceptance. And once you create that deep sense of positive satisfaction, enjoyment, playfulness,
You can feel so relaxed.
once you come from a place of self-compassion and deep forgiveness for your past self, and once it's the case that you create great success thereby, that inner part of your mind can feel into what the best feelings you would feel then would be. And whatever those best feelings would be,
Relax deep.
you can know that they would come from you. Some part of you would create them based on those circumstances. And so that inner part of your mind can look for prompts and pretexts to feel those good feelings already in the days and the weeks and the months to come. Because the more you give yourself permission to feel those good feelings,
Just like that.
give yourself that approval, that self-trust, then you tend to act in accordance with those good feelings and create more of the circumstances that confirm them back to
There
you.
you feel, the deeper.
So that inner part of you can put into play those virtuous cycles that allow you to feel better and better. Because you don't need to know exactly what it's like when you feel that deep sense of peace with yourself. You feel that deep sense of peace with your work, your purpose. That inner part of your mind can bring it about naturally. And so you don't need to know what changes happen all throughout inside.
Feel so
That inner part of your mind can create all of the most beneficial changes
when you go into
in your thought patterns, and your habits, your beliefs, your expectations, and everything that you can shift inside so that you can feel better and better. And you can feel more and more of that positive permission to take that place and to have that compassion for yourself. And so you don't need to expect that from one day to the next,
becomes naturally for you.
all of the doubts and the fears from the past just disappear all at once.
Access your inner resources.
You can surprise yourself to find in the days and the weeks to come that you can catch yourself feeling a greater sense of self-love, greater sense of optimism, greater sense of peace. So you don't need to expect that from one day to the next, all of the shame and the guilt just disappears forever. You can enjoy discovering how self-trust comes to you more and more naturally. And you can apply that forgiveness inside. Go easier on yourself to find that you can create an experience of ease, of flow. You can tune into that great harmony. You can feel more and more in tune with a sense of abundance and ease and flow in the ways that are most beneficial for the totality of your being. And so for now, as that inner part of your mind continues to create those positive shifts, you can just imagine yourself comfortably making your way along a hallway with doors to the left and to the right as far as the eye can see. And as you calmly make your way along this hallway, observing the doors around you, you can feel drawn to one door in particular. So you can approach this door and Notice its material, its color, its handle, and know that something very important is on the other side of this door. And so you open it and cross through, and you come face to face with another version of yourself, the version of you that has this greatest degree of self-trust, self-compassion, a version of you that's created a great amount of success and ease and flow, and experiences so much playfulness and enjoyment. Version of you that feels the way you most want to feel. And this great ideal version of you, like from a potential future, from a probable reality that can come to pass. And this great version of you transmits that well-being, that enoughness, that plenty, that peace. It's as if you can read it in body language, facial expression. And just from being present with this great version of you, it's as if there's a deep exchange that happens. As if your own subconscious becomes more open as to what's possible. And it's as if you can even feel into how this version of you feels inside. The quality of that self-trust, that understanding, that patience, feel confident and at peace. That quality of personal power and presence, the way this version of you takes space. Balance with that tenderness, that flow emotionally, that availability, way down and all throughout. How this version of you welcomes emotions and flows with them from that place of poise and clarity, and love. And it's as if you can even feel into how this version of you thinks inside. Positive self-talk that reinforces that self-trust. From where this version of you creates such great success. You have such great presence. It's as if you can feel the energy of that magnetism, that openness, that availability, that capability at receiving. A positive cycle. And it's as if in the distance you can even catch glimpses of the work that this version of you did inside to get to this point. And this great version of you can inspire you, or can even give you advice as to your own circumstances. And inside you always have access to this great version of you. For now, this great accomplished you comes closer to express all of the love and appreciation, acceptance, gratitude for you as you are, and to give you a great big hug. And in this embrace, this exchange happens more and more deeply, rapidly, powerfully, till the two of you begin to merge, to meld into one. All of those best qualities that become available to your own inner mind, till that inner part of you can base itself on the experience of already having this experience. Till this self-trust, this deep satisfaction, this acceptance, this abundance can become what's most natural for you. Until at some point, even in your dreams at night, you can see yourself as the version of you that creates great success and has that deep sense of enoughness, self-trust, and quality of peace. You have such great. So that both on a conscious and subconscious level, you can continue to refine, improve your self-image, so that you can know that identity has levels to it. And what a lot of people identify with is actually circumstantial, conditional. So that when you can see yourself as the realest, most essential aspect of your being, and recognize the aspects of identity that are just circumstantial, you've recognized that you can create positive shifts in how you see yourself. Because you can know and you can understand that that person that you see when you look in the mirror, and that person is somebody who is loving, who is loved, and whom you can love unconditionally. And that person in the mirror is somebody who is very capable, somebody who is worthy. And the more you place your confidence in that person in the mirror, give that person in the mirror your unconditional love and acceptance and trust. You know that that person in the mirror can go on to create great experiences of well-being, growth, connection, fulfillment. Trust yourself beautifully. And you can know this through and through, wholeheartedly. Feel better and better. So where before there were fears, now you can feel a greater sense of trust and peace. You can feel a greater sense of courage when you can recognize your own resourcefulness. And where before there was guilt, now you can feel a deeper sense of understanding, forgiveness, and peace. You can harness the energy that was invested in guilt, use it to move forward, to create a greater sense of flow, expansiveness, fulfillment. So where before there was shame, now you can feel a deep sense of self-acceptance. When you can have more of that objectivity, that wherewithal, and that clarity when you see yourself. You can see emotions more and more for what they are, and see them more and more from a bird's eye view, seeing them more and more objectively, and thus allowing more flow, allowing more of that quality of compassion overall. And so, whether it's the case that in the days, the weeks, and the months to come, you feel a great sense of power and presence in your solar plexus, it feels like it shines brightly, that makes it so that you take your place. You feel okay taking space. You feel okay being seen because you know that you can trust yourself so deeply. And you know that you are loved. You know that you're enough and that you're good. You can enjoy feeling into how that magnetism, that brilliance can draw in beautiful experiences of flow, grace, expansiveness, and abundance in the best ways. Whether it's the case that when you give yourself permission to experience that enoughness inside, you create more and more experiences of enoughness outwards as well. And you can enjoy how you discover that you can trust yourself, and so that inner part of you can feel into what shifts can happen inside to make it so that you give yourself that permission to do so now. When you can feel okay with receiving, you can feel how it's graceful to receive and take in that goodness. And so feel into how good that can feel. And you can enjoy realigning your experience of timing so that you can bring in that best of both worlds, where you can enjoy wanting things, but you can also enjoy the process. You can come to accept yourself exactly where you're at when you look forward to where you're going. And that creates that ease and that flow. And so when you can feel that presence, you can feel that glow, you recognize how enjoyable the process can be. And so you choose to accept yourself exactly where you are when you look forward to where you can go. And you recognize that it can be easy, or rather you can have a great degree of grace. That where before there was exhaustion, now you can feel more and more energized. You can feel more and more of that flow. Where before you were hard on yourselves, now you can have forgiveness, compassion, until at some point when you create that alignment with that harmony, you can recognize that life is on your side, and you can feel supported, feel that sense of peace. And each of these suggestions can be like a seed planted in the garden of your psyche that continues to grow until it flourishes and flowers, bearing fruit in your experience. And every time that you hear these positive suggestions, they compound themselves more and more powerfully and become your go-to reference in that which you base yourself off of, in your habits, and in the actions that you take, the filters that you perceive through, and the scripts that you operate off of, so that you continue to feel better and better about all of the subjects we addressed.
You see
And that deep part of you can take all of the best suggestions that it hears here and keep applying them inside, making them your personal reality, your truth, your reference, and creating all of the necessary changes to make them come about as fast as they're best for you now.
You can feel happy.
And every time that you use hypnosis, you can get more and more of a feeling for how you can make these choices way down inside. And it becomes more and more liberating, empowering, and enjoyable. And for now, in a moment, I'll count up from 1 to 5. And as I do, you can feel very much present here and now, in this moment, in this place where you were before you went into trance. 1, and you can imagine filling up your body with the presence of your awareness, like a hand in a glove. 2, conscious of being conscious, really embracing this moment with your awareness. And you can feel energized and at ease with your mind clear and sharp. 3, and you can notice your breathing, and noticing your breathing. And take a few deep breaths, really oxygenating, energizing your body. And 4, and if you like, you can stretch or flex your muscles. And 5, and whenever you like, if you have them closed, you can open your eyes and feel good.